Hi, United fans. Stay tuned, because this could change everything for Saturday's massive clash. All eyes were firmly locked on Carrington today, as Manchester United continued their preparations for the tough Premier League trip away to Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium in West London. After that nail-biting victory against Chelsea last weekend, the mood inside the camp was one of pure determination and belief. The players know exactly what's at stake, and make no mistake, they are ready to give absolutely everything to come back with 3 precious points in the bag. Today's training session was once again full of intensity, focus, and tactical sharpness. Ruben Amorim demanded nothing less than 100% commitment from his squad, and the lads responded brilliantly. There was a strong emphasis on sharp shooting drills, ensuring that the forwards are ruthless in front of goal when the chances come their way. Corners, defensive blocks, and set-piece routines were also drilled again and again, a clear sign that Amorim is preparing his side to deal with Brentford's physical threat and aerial presence. You could sense that every pass, every run, and every tackle on the training pitch was done with Saturday's battle in mind. One of the big talking points today was Bryan Mbeumo. Yes, you heard that right. The former Brentford star who made the switch to Old Trafford in July looked fired up and ready to face his old club for the very first time at his former home ground. The atmosphere will be hostile, no doubt, but Mbeumo's confidence is sky high. He looked sharp in training, linking up superbly with Matthias Cunha and the attacking unit. You can just feel he wants to make a statement in front of the fans who used to cheer him. United fans, do you think Mbeumo will silence his old supporters with a goal on Saturday? Meanwhile, Amorim himself knows this game carries massive weight. The media pressure around him has been relentless, with constant headlines questioning his future at the club. But Amorim is a fighter. He's desperate to turn the noise down and show the doubters that this United side can compete with grit, flair, and consistency. A win away at Brentford would not only keep United climbing the table, but also ease the so-called sacking pressure that certain outlets keep pushing. It's all about momentum now, and this is a chance to send a message. From my point of view, what really stood out was the balance between discipline and creativity in today's session. Mbeumo looked calm and composed, pulling the strings in midfield during the tactical drills. Dalot, as always, was up and down the flanks, delivering dangerous balls into the box. And defensively, Amorim demanded compactness, shouting instructions non-stop to ensure the backline was switched on. This is exactly the kind of detailed preparation United need if they are to break down a stubborn side like Brentford. So, United fans, the question now is this: will Amorim's men show that same sharpness and hunger when the whistle blows in West London? Can Mbeumo mark his return with a goal against his old club? And do you believe this United team has the mentality to grind out tough away wins, which could prove decisive come the end of the season? Drop your predictions in the comments, because your voices matter. Let's hear what you think will happen at the G-Tech Community Stadium on Saturday. As for me, I'll say this: if United can be clinical in front of goal, keep their defensive shape, and use the energy of players like Cunha and Mbeumo, then I strongly believe 3 points are on the horizon. But football is never straightforward. Brentford will fight tooth and nail, and we all know how tricky away days can be in the Premier League. Still, confidence is high, the preparation is spot on, and this feels like a game where United can make a real statement. United fans, this trip to Brentford is no walk in the park, but the lads look fired up and ready. With Mbeumo returning to his old ground and Amorim pushing for a statement win, the belief is there. Do you think United will get the job done in West London? Drop your score predictions in the comments, let's hear your voices. Meanwhile, all eyes were once again on Carrington today, as Manchester United went through another intense training session ahead of Saturday's massive Premier League Match League clash against Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium. After that gut-wrenching 2-1 win at Old Trafford against Chelsea last weekend, Ruben Amorim knows that this trip to West London is not just another league fixture, it is a chance for United to show resilience, tactical maturity, and attacking firepower against a stubborn Brentford side that has so often frustrated the so-called big boys. The talking point from today's training? It was all about the adaptation and fine-tuning of Ruben Amorim's evolving tactical system. Yes, you heard that right. The manager is drilling his players non-stop on how to break down Brentford's defensive wall. The focus at Carrington was sharp. Tactical drills, set-piece routines, and rehearsed corner block strategies designed to give United the upper hand. Make no mistake, this wasn't just another ordinary training session. Amorim is clearly sending a message that every detail counts, every run matters, and every player has to shoulder responsibility if United are to truly rebuild and climb back to where they belong in the European spots next season. One huge subplot ahead of Saturday's game is the reunion story of Bryan Mbeumo. After spending almost 5 years as Brentford's talisman, Mbeumo will now walk out at the G-Tech in the famous red of Manchester United. What a moment that will be. He knows every blade of grass, every roar of the Brentford fans, and every weakness in their defense, and United fans are already whispering, could this be the fairy tale storyline where Mbeumo punishes his former club by scoring his first decisive goal in a United shirt? Imagine the scenes if he hits the back of the net in front of those fans who once sang his name. Do you believe destiny is lining up a moment of magic for him? But it's not just Mbeumo who carries the hopes of United supporters. The attacking quartet of Matheus Cunha, Benjamin Šeško, Amad Diallo, and Mbeumo himself were all heavily involved in training today. The drills were designed to test their chemistry, their movement, and their ability to slice through defensive lines with pace and precision. Cunha's energy, Šeško's presence, Amad's flair, and Mbeumo's insider knowledge of Brentford, this has the potential to be a front line that terrifies defenses. Yet the big question is, will Amorim's tactical work on the training pitch translate into goals on Saturday? Will this new-look attack finally deliver the ruthless edge United fans have been crying out for? From set pieces, Amorim demanded perfection. The staff spent a long time rehearsing corner blocks, runs from deep and aerial challenges, perhaps a hint that United believe they can exploit Brentford in these key moments. After all, matches against compact sides often come down to fine margins, one clever free-kick routine, one well-placed delivery, one towering header. United fans, do you think this attention to detail will finally turn our set pieces into a real weapon, rather than a wasted opportunity? After training, Amorim gathered the players and gave a rallying message. Every individual must take responsibility at this great club. He reminded them that the rebuild is still in progress, but progress only comes when the team embraces responsibility collectively and individually. That's powerful, isn't it? It shows a manager who understands the pressure, the history, and the weight of expectation at Manchester United. Do you agree with him that responsibility is the key ingredient missing in recent years? Or do you think it's more about finding the right balance of experience and youth? As Saturday approaches, the stakes couldn't be clearer. United are targeting 3 vital points to keep their push for European qualification alive. Brentford, though, are never easy to face, especially at home, where their fans create a fiery, intimidating atmosphere. Should United's talent and tactical work shine through? Or could we be punished at the G-Tech Community Stadium if the same defensive lapses and sloppy finishing creep back into our game? Let me give you my opinion. I believe this match will come down to mentality. United have the talent that's not in doubt. But do they have the hunger to impose themselves away from home? If Mbeumo, Cunha, Šeško, and Amad click, I honestly think Brentford's defense will not be able to cope. But if we allow Brentford to drag us into a scrap, into a physical, chaotic battle, it could be another long afternoon for United fans. For me, this is a test of Amorim's rebuild. It's about proving that we can go away from Old Trafford and still look like Manchester United, confident, attacking, ruthless. Meanwhile, Casemiro. Yes, you heard me right. The Brazilian's Manchester United journey looks like it's heading rapidly towards the finish line. Saudi Pro League powerhouses Al Nassr are making a full-throttle push to land him today, with their transfer window slamming shut in just a matter of hours. This is massive. United have been open to moving him on, not least because they don't want to risk losing him for nothing when 2026 comes around. And the Saudis? They smell opportunity, and they're throwing everything at it. But here's the debate that's got fans split down the middle. Do United cash in now and move on from a fading force, or do we cling to his leadership, experience, and big match know-how in a campaign that feels like it could swing either way? His levels have dropped, Amorim clearly has new ideas for the midfield, but let's not forget this is a man with 5 Champions League trophies in his back pocket. Can you really replace that kind of pedigree? United fans, what do you reckon keep him to guide the youngsters, or shake hands, say thank you, and turn the page? Now, while we're on midfielders, let's talk Carlos Baleba. Brighton boss Fabian Hürzeler has finally admitted what we've all been thinking. United's interest in Mbeumo has rattled the lad. The manager himself said that when a 20-year-old sees a big offer from Manchester United splashed across the headlines, it's bound to affect him. And he's right. Because when the biggest club in England come knocking, how do you not daydream about stepping out at Old Trafford with the Stretford end roaring your name? January could well be the moment United push all chips to the center of the table for Mbeumo. And honestly, he feels tailor-made for Amorim's 3-4-3 system. High energy, quick thinking, progressive on the ball. He's got shades of Carrick in the way he moves the game forward. The big question is Mbeumo the man to anchor our midfield for the next decade, or do we go for a more experienced head to steady the ship? Moving on, some good news at last on the injury front. Diogo Dalot is grafting like mad to get himself back on the pitch. After that setback with Portugal, he's been out on the grass putting in the hard yards, and there's growing confidence he'll be ready for Brentford at the weekend. And let's be honest, his return could be massive. His composure, those marauding overlaps, his delivery in the final third, we've missed all of it. The question now, does Dalot walk straight back into Amorim's 11, or have the alternatives shown enough to hold their ground? Personally, I think Amorim trusts him too much to leave him out. If Dalot's fit, he's in. End of story. Meanwhile, Bryan Mbeumo. And let's call it how it is, he's giving United fans the kind of spark we expected from Antony but never really got. Remember those first few games from Antony? 3 cracking goals, and we thought we'd signed a superstar. Since then, the magic's gone, the end product's dried up, and the consistency's vanished. Now look at Mbeumo. Last season alone, he smashed home and created 27 Premier League goal contributions. Antony has never been close to that kind of output. Week after week, Mbeumo delivers. Pace, directness, intelligence, and that all-important final touch. He's exactly the kind of winger United fans crave. Imagine him flying down the flank at Old Trafford, cutting inside in front of the Stretford end, and tucking away the chances Antony would have squandered. That's the dream, isn't it? But before we wrap, let's not forget a story that should make every United fan smile. Scott McTominay has just finished 18th in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Yes, unbelievable but true, the lad we saw come through Carrington is now being recognized as one of the top players in world football. United fans, the stage is set, the questions are out there, and now it's over to you. What do we do with Casemiro? Is Mbeumo the man for Amorim's midfield, and would you take Mbeumo in a heartbeat? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate belongs to the fans as much as it does to the club. Stay connected, keep the faith, and remember, this is Old Trafford, the theater of dreams, where history is written and rewritten every single day. United fans, what do you think once again? Drop your thoughts in comments.